and welcome to the OMNI Coalition News Show, also known as TOCNS. This show is an amalgam of strange, weird, bizarre, off-the-wall, and otherwise things you don't normally see anymore from most news sources these days. During a time of political overabundance and divisiveness, we present you with more unifying topics to discuss for the most part. For links to those articles, the music, which I hope you can hear, done by Carrera, I still don't know whether or not people can actually hear it, but I have the music up now to 35. I'm just going to bump it on up to 40, because why not? Let's see how that works. Anyway, anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Xander, and I am joined by...
The Slayer, a.k.a. Bread Mace.
A.k.a. Bren Doom Fraser. So... which people would actually understand if you did turn your webcam on. But anyway, today is Tuesday, also known as Tears' Day, Tuesday's Day, November 22nd, 2022. There are a lot of twos going on today. Two. Oh, there he is. Bro, like, look at that. Look at that. Does that not look like young Brendan Fraser right there? Like...
that is the most Brendan Fraser hairstyle you'll ever see.
That's young Brendan Fraser waiting in the car for his like audition to like.
I'm waiting for the next Journey to the Center of the Earth movie.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for part 3.
just don't do 3 mummy movies. The third one's always the worst. So. Anyway, let's get up into the news, shall we? From Rebel News, we have Zelensky wants Australian coal for Christmas this year. Ukrainians are begging Australia to send them coal we will not permit ourselves to burn. Okay? So that's right. Zelensky is the president of Ukraine. So it continues on here. With temperatures in Ukraine dipping below freezing and electricity being rationed through scheduled blackouts, Kiev's envoy to Australia has urged the Albanese government to send ships loaded with coal. Vasil Myroshinikiko said he fears that unless coal was sent soon, his countrymen will be without electricity and running water. And there's not really much more to this article, it looks like, so I'm not going to keep reading. But anyway, that's frightening. It's really concerning. And Australia isn't burning the coal, so why not? Sell it to Ukraine, you know? Like, make a little bit of money, help a war-torn nation survive a winter, you know? And yeah. Win-win. So, anyway, moving up here, more from Rebel News. We have City of Seattle sued for racial discrimination by white former employee. A city employee was told that requesting time off for family leave would deny a person of color an opportunity for a promotion, and that would be showing his white privilege if he didn't resign. Wow, are you kidding me? So somebody wants to go spend time with family and that's white privilege? Really? Wow.
Jeez.
Seattle, of course, is being sued by a former white employee for years of alleged racial discrimination, according to a federal lawsuit filed against Mayor Bruce Harrell in the city last week. Joshua Dimert, who was first hired in 2013 by the city's Human Services Department, HSD, claimed in the lawsuit that, quote, he could not overcome the city's overt discrimination against him through its race and social justice initiative, despite being honored by the city for excellence, in quote, the post-millennial reports. Wow. According to the suit, Dienmart claims he was pressured by the city to resign from a position when he needed to take a leave of absence under the Family Medical Leave Act, FMLA. The city told him that requesting FMLA would deny a person of color an opportunity for a promotion, and that he would be showing his white privilege if he didn't resign. Man, that's the most stupid, like, I keep telling people, like, you know... like, there really is, like, discrimination going on, but it's not towards blacks, it's not towards Hispanics, it's not towards Asians, it's towards whites. I mean, you know, yeah, of course there's discrimination to people in certain degrees, but right now, like, with all this stuff being pushed, it's almost a law to hate your local white man, you know? Like, yeah. I don't know what it's like out there for you, Brent Doom, but...
it's not too bad, I'd say.
Yeah.
It could be worse. I mean, they treat you, like... if you miss one day of work because you're like really sick and you cannot come in, or you get quarantined by them, they'll try to fire you for that.
Yeah,
like they'll try to fire you for them sending you home on quarantine.
Now I have a question.
Which is what they tried on me.
Were you on a probationary period?
No.
Okay. Because I was wondering.
I've never been on one.
Well, like, you know, not because you're, like, on drugs or, like, in trouble with the law. Like, out here, when you're first hired to any job, it doesn't matter. Out here, you're on a probationary period. So depending on what they use, there's a 30, 60, or 90-day period in which, like, they are legally allowed to let you go for literally any reason. Like, one example I have was I was working with Vaughn's, and that's a whole story I'll explain later, in which I was effectively making less than minimum wage an hour because of union fees.
Yeah.
But anyway, on the 59th day of my 60-day probationary period, they fired me for not having a good customer service voice. What? Like,
it's not even a reason.
I know. Well, that's exactly like you can come in wearing a color shoes that your manager doesn't like, and you're gone. Like,
jeez.
Yeah.
Talk about abuse of power.
It is. It's and like, I don't remember what the whole, like, the law structure was initially like set up to protect people in jobs, but it's somehow been transformed to like be a revolving door because there are so many unemployed people out here that they have everything so streamlined. All they have to do literally is sit your butt in front of a TV for a couple days, watch some videos, and all they're paying you is your hourly. There's not extra paperwork. Everything's automated. Then they have you shadow somebody, and then they just let you off the leash and go work for yourself. But so like there's little to no, most likely no extra costs to hiring people anymore these days. And now they can just have a revolving door. People coming in, people coming out for these lower level positions and everything. And like even in high tech things like computer sciences and whatnot, like the amount of homeless people I've met with PhDs in like computer sciences and like programming and web traffic and social networking and stuff, like the market is oversaturated and they are now victims of the revolving door. They put in 4 years of college work and they are in no better position than I'm at. And I'm a college dropout 3 times. So I guess we're equivalent. The great equivalency. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on up here, more from Rebel News. New Zealand moves closer to lowering the voting age. Make It 16 lobby group granted appeal in Supreme Court. Oh, no. So, I mean, we already have a problem with, with college age, kids being still really dumb and manipulatable. Like, you're of that age, Bren Doom. Like, you're not an idiot by any means, but like, what I'm talking about. People your age and all that stuff. Like, that's when they're the most politically motivated to change. Like cause change.
The problem is that like they hear one thing and they're like, oh, we gotta vote for him. Like with Fetterman, they heard free weed, they heard legal weed, and they voted for him. I was like, are you idiots?
Yeah.
No. Like, you're not supposed to vote somebody just because of one thing.
Yeah.
You need to have actual concrete reasoning besides just one reason.
Dude, have you seen that video? Have you seen that? Sorry to interrupt. Have you seen that video of like that one, college student or whatever, like asking Biden, like, oh, are you going to alleviate my student debt? And he's just like straight up no. And then the look on her face, like, I'm an idiot, like.
Yep.
It was so funny.
Yeah, no, once you realize what he's doing, then.
Yeah, and those are people 18 and older. They're trying to reduce it by even more, 2 more years. It says here, a push to lower the voting age in New Zealand to 16 has gained momentum with the Supreme Court granting an appeal to activists seeking the change. Oh, no. The Make It 16 lobby group has argued that disallowing 16-year-olds to vote is a breach of their human rights. No, it's not. They argued in the Supreme Court that current voting laws were an example of age discrimination and needed to be changed. Are you kidding me? Like,
oh my god.
Like, bro, you're not developed. You're not even developed as a human until your mid-20s, maybe 30s. Yeah. And now you want to like vote when you're 16? First off, you shouldn't even be able to drive when you're 16. That's my opinion. Like, you have these reckless, irresponsible, bullheaded, immortal thinking teenagers that have no concept of what life really is, driving around in a 2-ton death machine made of metal and controlled explosions under the hood. Are you out of your fucking mind? Like, we gotta bump that up, not down. So
yeah, they need to put the hammer down on that. Like, they need to start cracking down on people like that.
I mean, I'm a libertarian. I'm a very strong supporter of smaller government. But if there's one thing I do want government oversight on, we need to have a universal license. So, like, voting, being joining the armed forces, buying alcohol, smoking, or buying tobacco, buying weed, driving, accessing the internet, like everything that's, of actual, consequence majorly in life. Roll it all up into one universal license and don't even give it out until they're 22. And I'm being generous with that. I personally would like to wait until 24, 25. But you can't live a quarter of a century without, all that stuff. So bump it down to 22. But until then, you have all that time to fuck around, be an idiot, and all you'll hurt really is yourself. If you're 18 years old and you drink and drive,
Yeah. You should get your license taken permanently.
Yeah, permanently. Like, we need to stop, driving is a privilege, not a right.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, getting back to this voting thing, voting is a privilege, not a right.
Yeah, no.
Like, it should be a right, but, people are people, and we should only... Now, then that brings up the question, who is to decide? What, what's a right, what's a privilege, what's a this, what's a that,
Yeah.
But, 16-year-olds voting, no. Absolutely not. No.
Yeah, no, that's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
I can vote right now, but I'm choosing not to.
Well, you probably should. I mean, I personally believe voting is a giant lie, but if I'm wrong, at least I'm doing something. So.
Yeah. So, side thing.
Yeah.
The Ohio Supreme Court ruled states' attempt to tax NASCAR for broadcasting its racing. And it's broadcasting its races in Ohio is unlawful, which it is. You can't tax them. You can't just tax them just because they want to broadcast in your state, and then which will gain them popularity, even though it's Ohio, and nobody likes Ohio.
Well, that reminds me of that meme I posted the other day of the Chicago fee. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's actually apparently a real thing. There really is a Chicago fee. So, if you go stay in some hotel or whatever, then they'll charge you a Chicago fee. It's like, why am I paying more just because I'm in Chicago? Stupid.
That's why I'm never going to Chicago. It's because of that shit right there.
Yeah, so Chicago, I know you're trying to drum up money, but congratulations, you just lost a potential tourist for the rest of your days until you revoke that law, that tax. Yeah. I don't want to be charged just to visit you. Fuck you. Who do you think you are? Disneyland? Anyway, more from Rebel News here. Beyond Meat Factory is beyond gross, leaked documents allege. Photos and internal documents leaked by former employees of the Philadelphia area plant, which manufactures the plant-based meat substitute, show what appear to be spills, unsafe use of equipment, and mold on walls and ingredient containers. Ugh. Well, good thing I don't...
Well, that's why you shouldn't do it.
Petition, I won't eat bugs. I'm going to look at that. Let's see here. Documents obtained by Bloomberg's former staff and first published on Monday indicate that Beyond Meat products manufactured in the Pennsylvania plant contain contaminants and foreign objects, including string, metal, plastic, and wood. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, that's... My god, that mold. Holy fuck.
See, with see, vegans? That's what you're doing. See, that's what you get for being idiots, vegans.
Yeah.
That's what you get for existing.
Yeah.
And then you have the most contaminated foods. It's not helping. Vegetable burgers? Really? What does that help? It's not helping the environment. You're really putting down on killing animals. The whole point of killing an animal is to control the population, not to wholesale, not to turn them extinct. We're doing that. We put limitations on how many you can kill just so it keeps control of the population.
He's specifically talking about hunting.
Yeah. And in terms of hunting, yes, you should have to hunt. You should be allowed to hunt everywhere in any country, as long as the animal is not endangered. If it is if they have an overgrown population, the problem is with deer, if you let too many come out of nowhere, you're screwed. You just screwed your entire country.
Yeah.
You have to go in there and shoot a ton of them. You have to go in there and just almost commit genocide on a whole animal population just to get the plant Because what they do is eat plants. They kill trees.
Yeah.
Or them rubbing trees isn't hurting nothing. But
here's a question. Here's a question. You're talking about like killing plant life and everything. Wild boars, they dig the roots out. They are actively damaging the environment. So any vegan out there is like, oh, boar lives matter. No, they don't. If you truly love nature, really we should honestly like eliminate boars.
Which is why this is one of the things I like about Texas. You can shoot as many boars as you please. You can go in there and just shoot a whole pile of them, and they won't say a word to you. They don't care. Like they allow it. They have even specifically told the citizens, if you see a boar, shoot it. Shoot it right then and there.
I want to read this last paragraph here before we move up because it says here, this is the second scandal to hit the fake meat company in recent months. Former Beyond Meat COO Doug Ramsey was suspended in September after a road rage incident in a parking lot in which he bit a man's nose off. What? Bruh.
Hell?
Bruh, I thought you were trying to not eat meat and you go and rip somebody's nose off with your mouth? Like, damn. I guess this just proves meat eaters are better because, like, this guy was without meat and he's turned into freaking cannibal. Like, I need beef right now. Food. Human. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to look at this later on. Actually, I'm going to look at this later on. Here you go. More from Rebel News. TD, I don't know what TD is. Bank donates $500,000, $500,000, to program that performs gender-affirming procedures on minors. Oh, God.
Really?
A newsletter published by the bank details over the funding it has provided to support to support gender transitions through the McMaster Pediatric Gender Diversity Program, which is operated in conjunction with the McMaster Children's Hospital in Hamilton, Ontario. Oh my goodness.
Yep, and they're becoming more of an issue. That shouldn't even be legal. It should be completely banned, and that law cannot be legally changed in any manner. That should be how it is. That you're not allowed to change a child's gender just because you want it to be changed. It's like it's not your choice. It's their call. Yeah. And even then, it should still be illegal because they're a child.
Yeah. It says here, according to the announcement, the money that was paid through the Children's Hospital Foundations will go to support 30 children under the age of 18 to undergo gender-affirming services each year. The program treats around 60 to 70 minors every year. Wow. Disgusting, absolutely.
So we're just getting more. So we're just growing more idiots. Okay.
Well, at the end of this, there's going to be a lot less humans, but we're going to be a lot stronger for it. If we survive this insanity as a species, if we don't stupid ourselves into extinction, then this is going to be looked back on as a great awakening and hopefully a better world after everything is like all the stupid is done with,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, let the idiots idiot themselves off,
Yeah.
Why do we even want them around?
I mean, they're not exactly repopulating because they can't.
I know that's the thing. Like
that's the nice part because then they transition, less issues. It's less problems for us in the future.
Like all this war on heterosexuality and all that stuff. Like blah blah blah. Like well, if it weren't for heterosexuals, if it weren't for straight people, nobody else would exist.
Exactly.
That's the thing people don't seem to realize, and they're just putting themselves into a corner. Like, eventually one of these days, all of this will be over and done with because all the people involved will be dead. And they're not reproducing. They have to steal people from actual reproducers. So, but anyway, here from Oddity Central we have math enthusiasts spend 24 hours solving the 1 + 1 mathematical formula. Okay? A couple of Japanese math enthusiasts recently spent 24 hours covering the walls of an entire room with calculations in an attempt to find the ultimate answer to the 1 + 1 formula. It's widely regarded that the easiest mathematical formula, but 1 + 1 isn't as simple as it appears, apparently. Well, at least not to math pursuits looking to apply multiple fields of mathematics while tackling this deceptively simple calculation. Popular YouTubers and math enthusiasts Hanao and Dengan recently proved this by spending a whopping 24 hours and covering the walls and floor of an entire room with calculations in one of their most intriguing projects yet. That's interesting. But yeah, look at that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no, like I was telling you earlier, like there's actually no, it wasn't you, it was Joe Rogan. I was talking about too about this. But every like friggin' way imaginable you can like conceive of what a math problem would look like on a board, it's everywhere. Like on the floors, on the walls, maybe on the ceiling. So the guy here said, I was never good at math. Oh, hey, neither was I. But even I know that according to simple arithmetic, 1 + 1 = 2. But what if we take the same mathematical expression and put it through just about all the areas of mathematics and physics usually taught in high school and college? That's what Hanau and Dengen wanted to find out when they set out on one of their craziest challenges yet. They used trigonometric functions, infinite series, geometry, physics, electromagnetism, and thermodynamics, to name a few, to solve this equation. That is insane. So.
Oh my god. I think they overcomplicated it.
Yeah, well, there's a joke in there, but I'm not going to say it.
But they're also, I think they're just trying to find a different answer to it, is what they're trying to do. They're trying to see if they can get a different answer that isn't 2.
Well, I mean, they do say math is a universal language, and if we are wrong with that, then, oh my god, you know?
Like, oh, all that for nothing.
Yep. Anyway, moving up from the mirror, we have National Grid sparks panic after warning of blackouts and alert before canceling. So there's like, hey, we're going to have a blackout. Oh, hey, psych, you know? Like, joke's on you. April Fools. Like, National Grid sparked panic this evening after an automated alert said the firm's capacity was tight and warned of blackouts before canceling it. The firm put out a warning that homes could experience power issues tonight, causing panic at 7 p.m. this evening. The alert was later canceled. It had originally... Oh, go away. Go away. Okay, fuck you. I'll read above you. Seriously, what... Okay, fine, I'll click you. Now go away.
Shit. Oh.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. The alert was later canceled. It had originally said there would be a tight margin when consumption would naturally increase as people come home from work and school. And for further reading, there's a lot more to this article, so I'll continue here. On Twitter, National Grid ESO wrote, the ESO has now withdrawn the capacity market notice issued at 2:33 p.m. today, end quote. Pardon me, earlier it wrote, quote, the ESO is confident that electricity margins are sufficient for this evening. However, a capacity market notice, CMN, has been triggered by the automated system, end quote. At least what I'm going to read for that quote. But yeah, oh man, this is kind of a spooky thought. But yeah, this reminds me of something I read yesterday. The Hoover Dam is preparing to shut down as far as the power, because the water level is so low that the turbines are starting to actually have problems functioning. Yeah, I might not be doing this show too much longer. We'll see. Like, you know, how when I can have power, we might be maneuvering the show's timetable here in a little bit. Why do I have wounds on my arm? What the hell?
Is that what, your main source? Is that Callie's main source? The Hoover?
No, I just saw it on YouTube. I just saw a random ass video. But we have been for the past several weeks at least, we have been at a water level lower than Lake Mead was at the back in 1935 when the dam opened. So yeah, it's not good at all. So
that's bad.
Anyway, here, moving on up, more from the Mirror. Warning over contagious virus that could plunge the UK into a triple-demic. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
More medical
another
tyranny.
COVID strain?
A contagious virus that poses a particular threat to children has sparked concerns over a potential triple-demic this winter. Our health service is already braced for a twin-demic of rising flu cases and potential resurgence of COVID in the coming months. But now an expert says that there's a third prevalent illness to worry about, the common respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, which usually causes mild cold-like symptoms. Fortunately, it doesn't tend to present a serious problem, but it can cause pneumonia and swelling of the airwaves in babies, the elderly, and vulnerable people. So,
damn.
Oh, here we go. More medical tyranny, more crap, like... Anyway.
Bananas, your potassium up.
Yep.
Then you won't get sick.
Yeah, eat some bananas,
Problem.
Did you know if you ate 40,000 bananas in 10 minutes, you'll die of radiation exposure?
Yep.
Yes, the bananas will kill you. the radiation.
But no, like,
the radiation.
Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get sick." And eat a banana, dude. Like,
yeah.
You ain't gonna get sick if you eat a banana. Like, bruh. Like, the only reason you get sick is if you have low potassium. That's the only reason. That's the main reason that you'll get sick. Like, if you have either an iron deficiency or lack of potassium.
Yeah. Well, eat your fruits and veggies, guys. Like,
Exactly.
I mean, I don't, but yeah.
I mean, you don't have to really eat vegetables. You can just eat meat. So you get the same effect out of it.
Yeah, but you do need fruit. You do need like vitamin C and stuff,
well, yeah.
so you don't get scurvy.
Let's say because from meat you don't get that potassium. You don't get really that much potassium. You get a bunch of iron though. Like if you eat a steak, you get quite a bit. Like steak's really good for you. Like nobody understands that.
Yeah.
Especially because I don't realize that natural steak from like a cow. Mm-hmm. Or even like venison's even better than steak. Like that's even better for you.
Well, as the saying goes, those who become vegan made a huge missed steak.
Well. I see what you did there.
Anyway, moving on up here, more from the Mirror, and this is very worrisome. NHS National Health Service doctors are prescribing heating to patients who can't afford to pay energy bills. So is this where we're really going? Do we need doctor prescriptions to have electricity for heating during winter? Like, are we really getting to this point? This is a level of who's the guy Orwellian fucking nightmare that I never thought we'd ever achieve. It says here, doctors have started prescribing heating to patients with medical conditions that worsen in the cold. Keep them in the hospital or something. I don't know. The Warm Home Prescription Pilot, launched back in December of 2021, has so far paid to heat the homes of 28 low-income patients with the aim of avoiding the cost of hospital care if they become more ill. Okay? Oh. The scheme was piloted in Gloucestershire, where the participants had to fulfill a range of requirements before they were prescribed warmth. What? To reduce their risk of serious illness and hospitalization. Prescribed warmth. That sounds something as crazy as give birth, Like, prescribe that man warmth. Like, what? What is going on? It continues on here. The pilot was funded through the government's Housing Support Fund, which, with sustainability charity Southern Y supporting the plan, along with non-profit Innovation Hub Energy Systems Catapult. The pilot would this winter be extended up to 150 people in Gloucestershire under the same funding model, while around 1,000 more people in Tees Valley and Aberdeenshire would receive help paid for through BP's Social Impact Fund. British Petroleum?
I don't know.
But my God, have we really gotten to the point where we now need like doctor requirements, to have electricity to like not die? This is insane. Anyway.
That just started.
Moving on up from Oopie, we have Mexican City mixes up world's largest serving of guacamole. Ooh, yummy. A Mexican City's inaugural Avocado Expo featured a Guinness World Record being broken with a team of 300 cooks mixed up 10,957 pounds of guacamole. Which guacamole is, of course, made from avocados, and avocado got its name because it looks like a testicle. The Avocado Expo in Paraban, Michoacán, officially broke the Guinness World Record for largest serving of guacamole, a record previously set by an 8,351.1 serving of guac mixed up in Tanciatero, Michoacán, back in 2018. The dish included more than 10 tons of Peruvian-grown avocados, as well as onions, tomatoes, serrano pepper, lime, and cilantro.
Holy shit. It beat the record by 2,606.6.
Yeah.
Like, pounds. That's holy shit.
That's a lot of. That's like, a lot of. Yeah.
Sixes. It's a lot of six.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. 2,000. Yeah. 200. Yeah. 2,606.6 pounds.
Let me see something here.
World's largest tortilla chip.
Well, if we're gonna have the world's largest guacamole, we gotta use the world's largest tortilla chip. That is a big chip.
Yes.
Well, you know what?
How long it would take?
Like,
that'd be one really good snack. I'll tell you what.
Dude, one of these days, the OMNI Coalition needs to, like, try to break these records, or at least try to do something, like, up to it. Because, like, wouldn't it be awesome if we all, like, got together and ate a bunch of guacamole off of a giant tortilla chip? Like...
That'd be awesome.
That sounds interesting.
Is that like the entire group, like the entire server come in? Like
yeah.
We all go in and we like take a chunk of it for each person.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
That would.
Moving on up here, more from Upi. 24-hour circus show in Cambodia breaks Guinness World Record. An art school in Cambodia broke a Guinness World Record by staging a circus that lasted for 24 hours, 10 minutes, and 30 seconds. Officials at Fair Ponlu Selpak, a non-profit art school in Cambodia, said they came up with the idea for the Guinness World Record attempt when the school was forced to shut down amid COVID-19 pandemic. Of the 90 performers, which included the school's professionals as well as performers from sister organization Fair, the Cambodian circus put on a show that featured magic, acrobatics, dance, clowning, music, contortion, and more over the course of more than a day. More than a day? Huh. Oops. Somebody made a typo there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. 24-hour circus.
Yeah.
Huh. More from UPI.
Even more. More from Upi.
Upi. Chinese man builds 50-story house of cards to break world record. Nice. A Chinese man put his precision to the test by building a 50-story house of cards in a single day to break Guinness World Record. Tian Rui of Qingdao, Shandong province, took on the record for tallest house of cards built in 12 hours and completed his 50-level structure in only 5 hours and 4 minutes. It's pretty cool. I don't know, like, House of Cards, stuff like that. Like, I wonder if he was doing it as a symbolic gesture to the government of his home nation. So, just a House of Cards. So, anyway, from AP News, the famed Goonies house is now for sale in Astoria, Oregon. Okay. Ooh. I have never seen the Goonies, but I need to, and one of these days I will, hopefully.
Oh yeah, it's good. It is a good movie.
Yep.
Yeah. You'll enjoy it.
I know I will. Good news for the fans of the Goonies. The old Victorian home featured in the film is now on sale in Astoria, Oregon, and potential buyers are considering making it more accessible to the public. Quote, "We have a few interested parties right now," said realtor John Miller, the listing agent for the property. "It seems to be everybody's intention to be able to open up the house a little bit more and have more access," end quote. The 1896 home, that's old, with sweeping views of the Columbia River flowing into the Pacific Ocean, has been listed with an asking price of $1.7 million on Zillow, where it's described as, quote, "fully loaded with history, nostalgia, and iconic level of fame," end quote. Yeah, so, cool. Anybody out there with nearly $2 million just burning a hole in their pocket, go and buy this house. Turn it into a museum or something, I don't know. Pretty cool. Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may be interested in, which including but not limited to all things OMNI Coalition. For your dose of different, otherwise unknown news, we stream Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, which is what your time?
5 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. Anyway, for all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
I am the Slayer.
Yep. And until you see us tomorrow, or if you're interested in history, we have a new show every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time, or 1 p.m. Eastern. Whenever you see us, whenever that shall be, until then, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles!